Amud Aleph. Okay, so yesterday we had a whole machloket exactly between the for the Korban Pesach, right? Between when is it considered the Hoy, or when is it not? When do you let it go and just graze it until it gets a mum, or when will it be considered shlamim, right? So now we had a machloket between Rabba and Rabbi Zera. According to Rabba, we said it's dependent on the shchita. When are you shechting it? According to Rabbi Zera, it's dependent on chatzot ayom, right? Chatzot ayom. Now, I don't think there's Pesachim. Yeah.
No, I got one. Thank you.
Now, so the Gemara is going to continue on these halachot. It's going to give us a couple of different opinions. Okay? We're on Amar Shmuel. You have it? Amar Shmuel. Amar Shmuel. Kol shebechatat mita bepesach karev shalom. Shmuel explains that in any situation, okay, that it's bechatat mita. So now there's 5 situations where it's considered chatat mita, right? That they're all alach al Moshe Misina. Rashi says, okay. Vehen mitot vlad chatat. If you have a vlad that's vlad chatat, he also needs to get pushed away. Beturmat chatat. V'chatat shemeto ba'alea, if the baal of the chatat passes away, v'chatat shenitkapu ba'alea al yedei acheret, or chatat that they did a kapara for the chatat that they lost, right? We said yesterday, if somebody loses their chatat, and then they found it later, and so now that next one it becomes right, we let it go in grace. Now in Pesach, it's going to be considered shlamim, right? Now, v'kol shebechatat roeh, bepesach nami roeh, and whatever on Pesach, in any chataot that we let it go in grace and then die on by itself, on Pesach it's going to be the same thing. Now the Gemara is going to go on Shmuel's opinion and is going to argue on it back and forth. If we see that this is a klal, right? Does this always apply to every single time? So we said, kol shebachataot mita chamesh chataot metot. It's going to be killed like how we explained. Now in Pesach we said it's going to be shlamim. Kol shebechatat roeh bepesach nami roeh. Any chataot that we have to let it graze and get a mum, because we can't kill it, right? We get a mum and then you could be able to sell it because then there's no use for it. We're going to say the same thing for Pesach. Rabbi Yochanan amar, en Pesach karev shlamim, ela shenimtza achar shchita. Rabbi Yochanan says no. The only time that the Pesach will end up becoming shlamim, right? Ela shenimtza achar shchita. Only if you found it after shchita, right? So you had a korban Pesach, you lost it, and then after shchita, after you already did shchita by getting another korban, right, to replace it, then you found it, then it's going to be shlamim. Aval kodem shchita, lo. But before the shchita, right? If you found it before the shchita, it's not going to be considered shlamim. Rather, it's going to be roeh. Roeh, as we explained, you have to let it graze until it gets a mum, and therefore it's pasul. Okay?
We leave it on the
Because
side.
it's already considered dahui. If you found it, huh?
Put it on the side.
Yeah, you leave it on the side, you let it get a mum by itself.
Then you have to sell it, no?
Right, and then you sell it, yeah. Now, why? Because he holds like Rava, right? The Rava explained that the whole nafkamina is when? At the shchita time, right? If it's before shchita, then it's still if you have one, right? Korban number 1. You came to this for Korban Pesach. You lost it. You brought number 2. And now, if it's before shchita, one, right? It's 1 and 2. They're both ra'ui for Pesach. So one of them you have to get rid of. So the first one you leave it there. The second one you have to push it away. It became dachui, pushed off. Why? Because the kedusha is still there. You still have the kedusha of the first one, right? It wasn't pushed away because you haven't done the shechita yet. That's why it's you have to let it go ro'eh, get a mum, and then sell it. If you found it after shechita, right, the first one's not ro'eh anymore. So therefore, it's going to be shlamim, right? So it's going to be considered shlamim. That's according to Rabbi Yochanan. Matkif Rav Yosef v'klala hu.
Sorry, just before shechita, if you find it before the shechita, the first one, it's still considered kadosh.
Yeah.
So how can you sell it?
Oh, the second one. The second one that you the second one that you replaced it with.
The second
You
one you
lost
replace it with, you sell that one.
Yeah. First you have to let it graze outside.
The
You
second
have to.
The second one or the first one?
The second one we said.
That's why I was.
Even before the shechita?
No, before the shechita you keep the first one.
Sure.
If you because you found it.
But you already designated the second one.
Hold on, but the first one's designated before.
So the first,
So we said
First one was the
yesterday.
better one also.
No, I thought we said yesterday that before the shechita you lose the first one. Then you're like, okay, I lost the first one. Okay, I'm dedicating this one for the shechita. Then you're like, all of a sudden you find the first one. You're, oh wow, but I already designated this one. Okay, I need to let the first one get.
You already designated the first one too.
No, but you already replaced it when you thought you lost it.
Right, but you found it before the shechita, so the kedusha is still there.
wait, so before shechita you
push
use
up
the
the-
first one as the korban or the second?
The first one.
Okay, and then the second you let it graze.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's not going to be considered korban shlamim.
So, but what I'm asking is this: what's if the kedusha is there? How can you sell it, even on the second one?
The
No,
second
you
one.
gotta move.
Right, exactly.
Because you lose the.
That's exactly the
shot
point.
from the
No, he's right. That's why you have to let it graze out. It has to get a mum. Now it's not ra'ui for korban by itself because it has a mum. A korban cannot have a mum.
Remember how we used to have a thing
Right?
like
Because the kedusha is still there. That's why. If it was already after shechita, you found it after shechita, nachon, that's it. The kedusha, you already used up the kedusha by
Even
doing the
if you have a
korban.
one korban, forget there are two. One korban, you dedicate, and you somehow got a mum. Would
Bye
you,
bye.
Would
You
you
have to
be able
replace
to
it.
sell it?
You have to replace it.
Wait, would you be able to sell that one?
Yeah.
that's the only case you can do.
Only if it has a mum, that's when you can sell
Yeah.
it.
And if
It's a
the
shtick.
second one that gets
I gotta get her and then sell it.
The
and you,
baseline.
once you
Because
sell
now
it,
you
you
can't
have
do
to use that
anything.
money for
Like,
a
if it
korban,
doesn't get
or you
awarded,
can
you
just
can't
use it for
replace
part
it.
of
Technically, yeah.
What?
Like the money that you get from
Oh, I
selling
think
the.
I don't know. I think you have to give it to the. You have to give it to the Bet Hamikdash, maybe.
Or don't.
אוקיי,
korban kesef?
אתה יכול לקנות את הקורבן השני, חלק מהכסף.
Yeah. Once it's nitcha, do you need to?
So what do you have to do with the money?
זה מכה מהקדושה. אין לך כלום, it's nothing.
Because it already lost its kedusha, and you already did korban pesach, which was where your intention was. So you shouldn't have to sacrifice another thing.
You're saying with the money
sorry,
that-
no,
from
no.
the second one?
The second one, the first one, you kish it out. No, you're right.
Okay,
That's what Rashi said. The first one you kish it out. The second one you do it because you already pushed it away.
the second one, here's the one you makriv, and the first one's the one you sell
Yes.
before shechita.
Yes. You have to let it graze, get a mum, and then you can sell it. Only then you can do it.
And then what did we say after shechita was?
After shechita, now it's considered korban shlamim.
Korban shlamim, and you can't even sell it.
No,
You
you
have to
bring it
use
as
it-
korban
You
shlamim.
bring us korban shlamim, and that's it.
Yeah. Use as korban shlamim.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so that was the statement. Okay. So now, Rav Yosef asks a question on Shmuel, right? Because we said v'kol she bechatat ro'eh. Anytime that you have the din of a regular korban chatat, right? That you have to let it graze out, get a mum, and then you can sell it. He said for Pesach, nami ro'eh. In Pesach it's the same din. Now Rav Yosef asked a question on this. V'klalahu, is this a klal that whenever it's on a regular chatat, right? The din is to be ro'eh. we're going to say the same din for Pesach if the same situation happened. How could it be? והרי חטאת שעברה שנתה, right? דלריה אזלה. If you have a korban chatat that's more than 1 year old, okay? Okay? You have to go and let it graze, get a mum, and then you can sell it. דאמר רבי שמעון בן לקיש, רבי שמעון בן לקיש says, חטאת שעברה שנתה, רואים אותה, כאילו היא עומדת בבית הגבורות ורואה. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish is explaining that a chatat, that the year timing, that it's older than 1 year, right? It's as if she's standing in the graveyard. What does it mean, a graveyard? Why is he saying that? Because a Kohen cannot go to a graveyard. So therefore it's an unreachable situation, unreachable place. So therefore the korban, it's as if it has no day, it can't be brought into the Bet HaMikdash anymore because it already the 1 year
It's
already
over
passed.
1 year old.
Yeah,
Okay.
the 1 year passed. So therefore the din is roa. She has to go and graze, get a mum and sell it. Ve'ilu bepesach, but on Pesach, ki hai gavna, in legabe Pesach, when it passed over the 1 year, right, of the korban, what do you do to it? Karev shlamim. You bring it as korban shlamim. You're not going to say that it's
You can sell it.
yeah, it has to go graze. So how could Shmuel say that the same, whenever you have on a regular korban chatat, right, that it has to go graze, you're going to say the same thing for korban pesach, that has to go graze. You see straight here that it doesn't go graze, it becomes korban shlamim. The Tanya, as we see in the Brisa, the pasuk says, "Im kesev hu makriv et korbano ve'ekriv oto lifnei Hashem." So what is the word? So the Brisa is bringing a diuk on the word kesev. What's kesev? Kesev means keves. It's like spelled mixed up. Same word, but it's talking about a lamb. Why do we say kesev in the pasuk? Lerabot et haPesach la'aliyah. We bring a diuk from that pasuk that the korban pesach, the intestines, they also have to go on the mizbeach, right? That was the diuk that we brought yesterday. It's not the raya yet, right? And now, kshu omer im kesev, when we say im kesev, what's the im for? Lerabot et haPesach she'avra shenato, a Pesach that the year passed already from it, right? Shenato v'shlamim obeyim mechmat Pesach lekol mitzvot shlamim. What do you have to do? It becomes korban shlamim. We see state brisa here we see state raya from the Torah. Sheteunin smicha, you have to do smicha to it, to like push it down. V'nesachin, you do the nesachim. Nesachim is mayayin, the maimon, right? Utnufat chazeh v'shok, they push the chest and the, how do you say shok? The thighs.
The shock, I think it's the shin. I'm pretty sure it's the shin.
No, shok is the thigh. Shok, נכון? shok the thighs.
No, the
שוקיים.
בבליות.
כן.
כן? How do you say shin then?
שן?
Oh,
לא יודע.
I thought shock was shin this whole time. Okay.
שוקיים זה thighs.
Wow, okay.
Now, and then כשהוא אומר אם עז, this is a side point, כי אם עז הפסיק העניין. לגבי עז, a goat, we don't need to do all of that. לימד על העז שאין טעון עלייה. The עז is not טעון to bring the intestines on the mizbech. Okay, so we just see a straight raya from here against Shmuel. Shmuel said that whenever the din is for a regular korban chatat, right? We said korban chatat shavra shenato. The din is it's roeh. He said the same din will apply for Gabe Pesach. Rav Yosef asked the Shaila, how could it be? It's not a pshat. We see a state pasuk that's explaining to us that if that situation happened to a korban Pesach, what happens? It becomes korban shlamim. So let's see. Amar lei. So there's a girsa change here. I'm not sure. It brings some people take out the word Amar lei because Rav Yosef didn't respond to anybody. He didn't speak to anybody. He just said a statement. So they take out the word Amar lei. So Ki Kamar Shmuel, that no, really when Shmuel said that the din of chatat, it's shavra shanato, it's going to be ro'eh, right? Or stam, that when you have a din of korban chatat that is going to be ro'eh, and on Pesach it's going to be ro'eh as well, the same din. What was he talking about? Ki gemar Shmuel ba'avudim, when somebody lost the korban, right? If you lose the korban, then the din is it's going to be ro'eh, right? Beduchin, bedechuin lo amar, but when it's pushed away, we didn't say that, right? So Shmuel says that no, it's a one situation case where if somebody lost the korban Pesach, they brought in another one to replace it. In that situation, you're gonna let the korban graze, get a move, and then you can sell it, right? The Gemara asks a question: "Ve'avud mi mashkachat la?" Who said no? Mi amar shezeh adin le'avudin. Who says that this is the din for an avud? Right? If you lost the korban, who says that that's the din that it's going to be ro'eh? Right? Ve'arei avud b'shat hafrasha l'rabbanon del'riya azla.
היא הולכת לאכול בשדה.
Okay, so sorry, there's a machloket here. There's a machloket here between the two opinions. We're going to see now. V'rei avuda b'shat havrasha l'Rabbanan del'riya azla. According to Rabbanan, right? When is it going to be sent out to be ro'eh, right? B'shat hafrisha, when you're being mafrish the korban, right? You're being mafrish the korban chatat for it to be the korban chatat. If on that time you lost it, and after you did the hafrasha, right? Then you're going to send it out to be ro'eh. Ditnan, as we see in the Bryce and see in the Mishnah, ifrish chatato ve'avda. If you're mafrish the chatat, right, and you lost it, ve'ifrish acheret tachteh, and then you brought in another one instead of it, ve'nimtzeta rishona, and then you found the first one, ve'arei shte'en omdot, and they're both in front of you, achat me'en tekarev ve'shniya tamut, divrei Rebbe. That's according to Rebbe. According to Rebbe, one of them you're going to bring it, and the other one needs to die. וחכמים אומרים, אין חטאת מתה, אלא שנמצאת לאחר שנתכפרו בעלים. Chachamim said that no, it's not going to die. You're not going to send it. It's not going to die. Only after the Baalim were mitchaper, right? Hag kodem shenitchapru, Baalim roeh. Ve'ilu bepesach, right? If it's before the Baalim were being mitchaper from this korban, then it's going to be considered roeh. But lachar, you don't. ואילו בפסח, איכא דעבד ונמצא אחר חצות, קודם שחיטה, קרב שלמים. But if you found this korban, right, לגבי קורבן פסח, נכון, if you found it after חצות, נכון, then it's going to be considered קורבן שלמים. You're not going to say that it's roeh. So we see from here a raya that Shmuel's pshat doesn't work. He said avudim, right? When you have a situation when it's avud, you lost it and then you found it again, the din is it's going to be roeh. But if you found it after chatzot, it's not going to be roeh, it's going to be considered korban shlamim. So Shmuel's pshat doesn't work. So the Gemara says no. Shmuel kerebi zvirele damar avuda lemita azla. So it says no. Really, Shmuel says that when you lose the korban, it's really like his first statement, right? What was Shmuel's first opinion, right? Kol shebechatat mita, bepesach karev shlamim. Whenever you have a chatat that it has the sentence of death on it, right? Bepesach, in Pesach, it's going to be considered shlamim. So it wasn't going on the second statement that Shmuel said that whenever it's ro'eh on chatat, it's going to be ro'eh on Pesach. Rather, it's going on the first statement. Kol shebechatat mita. Whenever it's in a situation of chatat, it's going to be sent to death. And bepesach, you're going to end up sending it to shlomim. So that's how Shmuel holds. Okay, Ad kan. Amen.